Hey everybody, welcome to the season premiere. Very exciting. Formerly known as Cold Night Chats, I now want to rename it to Hammock Chats, and that's because we're now live from this hammock, which I acquired over the summer, and I'm now, look at this. Woo, wee, wee. You know what I mean? I don't want to knock over my water there, but, oh shit. What is this, well, yeah, I've been kind of tinkering with it to get the door open, because I didn't want it to hit this. It was kind of blocking the door, so and it improvised, but I didn't have a lot of space, so I had to kind of put that part over there, and it's a little wobbly now. But yeah, I just can't go sideways anymore. Well, I can, but I shouldn't. It's kind of, yeah, when it kind of slides along the railing there. But, if I fall, that's what, like, not even 2 feet, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so that's cool. So I think from now on, whenever I'm on the balcony, I'll most likely be on the hammock, because why not? So it's like a chair, but better. Like, a lot better. Like, look at this. So you can't even see me. But, yeah, having a lot of fun. So, a lot more fun than I was having in the chair. So, definitely an upgrade. So, there you go. So, we're already upgrading. So, things are definitely on the up and up. Anyway, enough stalling. It is 10:07 p.m. on Wednesday, October 16th, 2024. Current temperature is 62 degrees. So we have our first cool front of the season today, which was nice. We got full moon, looks like. It's kind of some milky clouds. It's like a layer of skim, I guess. It's been overcast all day. Yesterday was sunny. It was clear, so that's probably what allowed it to cool overnight. And then today it was cloudy, so it didn't really heat up too much. So today's high was like 76, so that's refreshing. It's the first day that we've had a high below 80 in probably 6 months. So, looking at the forecast, today is kind of a standalone event. Tomorrow we're back to 80, and then, tonight's low is 56, and, then it goes to like 64, and then 68, and then 71, and, back up. So, we don't have another one in sight yet, but at least, we've broken that barrier, and fall is here. So that's exciting. And we have the fall air, which, wow, I really missed it, like from mid-April to mid-October, there's just no semblance of fall in the air at all. It's just summer. And so now I finally get that little accent to the air, a new flavor, And cooler air just feels clean to me, it just feels cleaner and just more pure. And I know I've talked about this before, but, I think it's like, it's more of a cosmic energy, just because, space is cold, right? So that's kind of the default setting. And so heat is kind of like an artificial, kind of thing. So I think cold is the default. And yeah, I mean, I think cold air I think cold things generally move slower than hot things. I could be wrong about that. I don't have any like scientific proof, but well, what I would reference is that where do you put something if you want to preserve it? In the freezer, right? If you put something in the oven, it's gonna age it more rapidly, right? It's gonna cook it. It's going to boil it, whatever. But if you put it in the freezer, it preserves it, slows the aging. So, who's to say the human body's any different? Well, they do actually. They put dead bodies in the morgue, it's essentially a freezer, to preserve the flesh. So there you go. So I believe that people who live in colder climates will most likely be aging slower, and of course that's in conjunction with living a healthy lifestyle and all that stuff. But anyway, that's not it's not a new thing. I know I've talked about that before. So yeah, it's been a while. I did a few live streams over the summer. I was considering live streaming this, but I don't use all of the footage, each one of it, because I don't have a plan. I don't write anything down. I just press record and see what happens. So sometimes it's not really much, and so I like to be able to review it the next day and then upload it. And yeah, also the live streams is kind of weird how they uploaded the channel. Like it's like a different tab you gotta press or something. It's like doesn't show up with the rest of the videos for some reason. So I don't know. But yeah, and I also, as much as I like the chat and interacting with people, it can also be kind of a distraction sometimes if the intention is to just be like stream of consciousness, like what's on my mind. So I just want to see like what happens organically, and then I'll still do live streams too, but I believe they can coexist without necessarily being one and the same. All right, so we're halfway through October. What's going on? Well, I still have the same job. I'm still a solar pro, Trinity Solar. I'm proud of it. Where was our last time we checked in? Probably like April, I imagine. Yeah, I mean, I've grown a lot. As a person, which of course it all goes together, right? I'm 21 years old. I turned 21 in April, so I'm not sure if I did one of these after that or whatever. But yeah, it's really not like that much different, honestly. It's not like a night and day kind of thing. I mean, I guess it would be if I was like super into the party scene, because really the only significance of being 21 is like the accessibility of alcohol, and and I guess a few other things like being able to get into like special events and clubs or whatever. Some venues are 21 plus. So but yeah, for the most part it's like the that whole scene of partying and whatever, which was never really very much into, just because I can't rationalize it. It's just not my thing. Now don't get me wrong, like I'm not boring. Like I'll get down, or whatever. Like every once in a while I'll go to a house party if I'm invited, or I'll go. I'd rather, I generally would rather drink at a house than at a bar. But I've been once in a blue moon, maybe like once a month or so. Um, but generally, it's just like a social thing, like just to have a drink in your hand, like when I'm out somewhere, but don't necessarily got to get loaded every night, which I don't really have a desire to do. So I'll have a drink here or there, but like going out to drink is very rare. And honestly, a part of that is money, because it's absurdly expensive, and I just can't really rationalize that part of it either. Like, I remember the one time I went downtown, I spent like $200 just on covers and drinks, and that's it. So it's like $200. Like, come on now. Like, think about all the things I could buy with that much money. So, and all I got from it was just a hangover. So, but yeah, and that's another thing too. I mean, whenever I drink more than I should, it just kind of ruins the next 12 to 24 hours. So it's not really worth it, and I don't really have time for that, because I never have like more than one day where I don't have obligations. So, but yeah, so basically I'm just able to like buy beer and wine or whatever at the gas stations. I'm not limited to certain places, so I can go wherever for that. And then of course, if I ever go out, like, if I'm at a nice dinner or something, I have a drink with my meal. Like, that's fine. But I'm just not really into the nightlife scene. And maybe with the right people. I think that's it. I just not really comfortable being alone in those settings, and most of the people that I find myself surrounded by, I just can't really click with. Like, I just get like annoyed or irritated, basically. But or if I do like just go with it and succumb to it, end up just embarrassing myself and regretting it. So it's not something I rush to repeat. But yeah, so that's that. Other than that, nothing's really different with that. But yeah, so I'm still here. I'm still in the same apartment. This one right here. Don't judge. Going through some stuff. But my lease is up in beginning of March. So we're about 4.5 months away now from that. I've lived here over 2 years now. It's hard to believe. I moved in September 1st. Or August 31st, actually, because I remember I had to pay a fee to move in one day early. August 31st, 2022. And now so August 31st, 2024 is 2 years. So we're over that already. Because I had a 15-month lease, and then I renewed it for another 15 months, because that's the only term I could do. So that'll be 30 months, so that'll be March. It's like March 5th or something. And so when that's up, I plan to move and into a house, because I kind of, gotten what I need to from living in apartments. I don't really see the need to stay longer. The main reason that I was limited to this is because of my credit situation. I didn't have any credit history, and then my credit wasn't very good when it was time for renewal, so now it's better now, so I should be able to get somewhere. But the main thing is I'm tired of just renting. I want to do either a rent to own or a lease with option to purchase, or possibly I can pull off some kind of first time home buyers program where I can finance a down payment or something, and get some equity. That would be awesome if so I could be a homeowner as early as March. So that'd be great. And obviously a lot can change from now to then, financially and with work and everything. So I might, that might not even be an issue. I might be able to do a cash down payment on a place and, do a mortgage or whatever. But yeah, so when that time comes closer, like January, February, I'll be diving in deeper on my options with all that and the locations and different things. So that's something that's on the horizon. But for now, I'm here. I'm still in the same apartment. And, it's a pretty nice place. It's not really, it's not bad or anything. I mean, sometimes the, some of the rules I don't necessarily agree with, but I feel like we've, established an understanding for the most part. So, and the staff is really nice too. The staff is good, and the security and the technicians or whatever they are. Like, I got locked out of my apartment a couple of weeks ago because the battery died on the lock, and instead of like having a setting where it unlocks when that happens, it just stayed locked, and then I wasn't able to unlock it because the battery was dead. So I was locked out of my unit, and so I called the emergency number, and they were there in like 10 minutes, and they fixed it right away, gave me new batteries and everything. So yeah, top-notch service there. And the gym's 24 hours, the pool I can use 24 hours. I mean, not supposed to, but fence isn't very tall. So, yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Got some water here. Okay. This way. Anyway, we just had a hurricane here in Florida. Hurricane Milton. So that was interesting. That made landfall on the west coast. It was moved west to east. I'm used to hurricanes moving east to west. That's how I thought it was supposed to work, but apparently they go both ways. So, made landfall in, I think, Sarasota area on the west coast, and then came across, came out somewhere in Brevard County, I think, like Cocoa or something on the east coast. And so, the eye was in the cone, and we didn't know where exactly the eye was going to come in Central Florida, but it could have came right over me, and then it probably would have been a different outcome, but it didn't. And I don't think I got any hurricane force winds here. I did get tropical storm force. There was a hurricane warning and a tornado warning, but there weren't any tornadoes by me. Where my family lives in Port St. Lucie, there was a lot of tornadoes there and a lot of damage, so they actually got it worse than me, even though they were a lot farther away from the center. So I guess it's just kind of random. But no complaints really. I didn't even lose power, and I lose power in thunderstorms sometimes, but so I was all prepared. I had maybe that's why, because I was prepared. But I filled my bathtub up so I had water to flush the toilets and things, and I charged up my battery banks so I can charge my phone and everything, and bought a bunch of canned foods and everything, and didn't need any of it. So, but yeah, so they, and there wasn't a lot of flooding either. Like, as I probably told the story before, but a Hurricane Ian in 2022, my apartment complex flooded, and it totaled my car, the Audi that I had, which is my last car. So obviously I was worried about that, and I was looking for any slight elevations in the parking lot, but it's just flat. So I took my chances, and it was fine. There wasn't even It wasn't like any flooding at all, really. It was just puddles, just like a regular rainy day. And all the roads were open and everything, so, and the whole area where the whole, 20, 30-mile radius where I lived was fine. But I know there was damage in other parts, so it's kind of hit or miss, But the problem with that is, business took a huge hit with work. The leads just dried up, and it's such an ordeal. Of course, from 2 weeks before the storm, everybody's paranoid about it, and putting things off. I'll wait till after the storm and everything. And of course, during it, nothing happens, and then after, is people are without power. It's damaged, there's flooding, whatever. So it took a huge hit on it. Plus, I don't know what's going on with outreach, but I haven't. Seems like they have a smaller team now, so I don't know if there was a mass firing or it's a bunch of people quit or something. I have no idea. But a lot of the people that I knew there are gone, so haven't really got much clarity on that. But in any case, not a lot of leads. In the last 2 weeks, I only got 2 appointments. So I've been on my own for the most part. So I'm back to knocking full time again. So it kind of feels like I'm in outreach, but without the base salary and only getting paid for installs. So, and without the whole culture that they have there, it's like I'm really alone. But I'm training now. Like today, I was out in the field from 2 to 8:30, and I was training with this new guy. Who I think's gonna be pretty good, actually. But it felt like I was in outreach, honestly. And we didn't get in any houses, we didn't get any appointments. It's just straight knocking. I was hoping I'd be done with that by now, honestly. I don't mind knocking here and there, for an hour, once in a while. But I don't like being dependent on it or having to do it all day, every day. But, I'm no stranger to it, so I'll get it done. I'll do what I have to. But even the leads I was getting from the boiler room and from Home Depot, the hurricane kind of put the kibosh to all that, and even some of my installs that are upcoming. Anyone that had damage to their roof or whatever, they can't install the panels until that's fixed, so delayed some of the installs. But I had my best month ever in September. I closed 10 contracts, and 9 of them are still active, and 2 of them have already been installed, which is amazing. So that was good. Q3, July, August, September, I was, a second here. Tyson put me in the Sales Academy, which is the how do I describe it? It's like graduating the academy. If you graduate Sales Academy, you go to Management Academy, and then you can be a manager officially. So it's a precursor to that, but it's also just, a cool experience. It's led by the higher ups in the company, and you get to know, the big wigs and learn a lot of advanced strategies, and they help you with stuff and everything. So the metrics to graduate that was I needed 20 active contracts. I needed 3 solar combo deals, so with a roof or batteries, and less than 20% track C which track C basically means like something's wrong with on my end. Like there's missing pictures, or like missing paperwork, or didn't do everything right. Which that kind of stuff happens every once in a while because there's a lot of unique circumstances. But yeah, so under 20%, track C, 3 combo deals, 20 active contracts, and I think that's it. So I got 20. I got 10 in September, I had 5 in August, and 7 in July, so 22. But unfortunately, 3 of them canceled, 3 of the July ones, so I only had 19 active that I finished with, so I missed it by 1. And I even got the combos too. I sold 2 batteries and 2 roofs in Q3, which I didn't even think I'd be able to do. So that's amazing. But yeah, so I was kind of upset about that for a little bit. I'm over it now. But unfortunately, because it was looking like I was going to pass right up until the last week, so we missed the enrollment I didn't think I was going to have to retake it. So the deadline to retake it in Q4 is already up. So I got to wait now until Q1 to take it again, which means it's going to be until the end of March until I graduate that. And then I can take Management Academy in Q2. So, that's... the journey continues. But yeah, so that means I also missed High Flyers by 1, which would have been nice because I would have gotten a nice bonus. I would have gotten a lot of gear and recognition and all that, but it's okay. So for High Flyers, I need either 15 installs or 20 active contracts in the quarter. So the good thing about this quarter is that since I have all those contracts in the work, I should have 15 installs in the bag. I actually have 19 scheduled for this quarter. So even if some of those fall off, I'll still pass. Plus, any ones that I sign up in October and even early November will probably get installed by the end of the quarter. So I could still get even more. So I should get High Flyers just off of installs, which is big in Q4, because if I get High Flyers in Q4, then I get an automatic invitation to the gala, which is going to be in March in New Jersey, which, is the biggest event in the company. And I was there last year because I ended strong in outreach in Q4, and even though I was in sales at the time of the gala, I had still made the qualification with that. So it was kind of an interesting experience. And I also went alone. I was one of the only people there to not have a +1. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have a +1 this year. But yeah. So that's the story with that. I'm a primer now, so we have Prime, which basically it's a short way to explain that. Just when new reps come in, put them in Prime, and so they get $250 for every LOI and $500 for every close, and they need to get either 15 LOIs or 5 contracts to graduate Prime and become a Solar Pro, and then they get to start running leads and everything. So as a primer, we're given 1 rep at a time that we're priming. So they tag along and shadow us and go with us to all the appointments and knock doors, and we show them how to do the job, how to work in the field and at the Home Depot, and show them all the technology and everything, and get them generating their own leads and getting LOIs. And then we go to the close and close it for them. And then they get paid, or it counts for us, so we get paid the full commission, except they get $500. And it counts as one of the ones they need to graduate. So, it's like a mutually beneficial thing. So that would be cool, ideally, when the leads are slow from outreach, if I could get some contracts off the Prime reps at least, But we're having a hard time getting them going. This first wave has been first wave of prime reps. It's kind of off to a slow start. You know, and I've been in some tough positions as well because I don't like to be like a dictator or a authoritarian. I'd much rather be a friend, and that kind of thing. So sometimes I'm put in these positions where have people above me telling me, hey, make sure your prime reps do this and whatever, make sure they know how to do this and have them do this and all that stuff. And then, like, I'll try to show them and then they don't do it or they do it wrong or whatever. And, like, or they'll lie about it. It's kind of the biggest, most common thing that's happening now is they'll be like, oh, he never showed me how to do this, or he never told me, I couldn't do this or that. And I'm like, well, yeah, you did. I watched you do it in front of me. So, or I'll try to keep tabs on them, like, hey, what's your plan for today? Where are you going to go? What time are you going to get started? What are you going to do? And I'll check in with them at the end of the day. How was your day? And, oh, yeah, I knocked 40 doors. I had 8 conversations, whatever, this and this. And then I'll ask Tyson to verify it. And it'll be like, no, he didn't knock any doors today. I'm like, well, he said he did. So, it puts me in a tough spot because, it shouldn't be my role for discipline or anything. So I'm kind of like the middleman to report up to Tyson and Josh Brown and, to keep tabs on the prime reps. And I train some of the other people too. But I've been training every day, really, so that also holds me to a higher standard. Because obviously, it holds me accountable. Because I can't be like taking breaks or getting there late or leaving early or, I gotta do things by the book, or at least I feel I have to. So I think that's good for me too. So, but yeah. So we got that. Hopefully things start changing with that. And then as far as money goes, 50-50 pay ran out. I got 17 weeks of that. And then I could do a one-time extension for 12 weeks, which I did. So that's a total of 29 weeks. And I started January 8th. So that ran out the end of July. So after that, I'm on full install pay. So I wasn't getting paid anything for the new contracts I was closing in August, September, which was a lot, which is unfortunate timing. But so I wasn't getting paid for the new ones, and then the ones that were getting installed, I had already gotten a half down for, so I was only getting half of the total commission for those. So instead of getting half for the new ones and half for the installs, I was only getting the half for the installs and nothing for the new ones. And then on top of that, I had a few cancellations from the previous ones. So then if I already got half down, then that would get reclaimed. And so the reclaims would come out of my next paychecks. So the little bit that I was getting for the installs, I wasn't even getting paid because it was just going to the reclaims. So, by the end of July, I did have some money saved up from, what I made on 50-50 pay. But unfortunately, it all went away over the following months because I wasn't getting any new income. So that was kind of an unforeseen setback. I mean, I guess it makes sense when you think about it, but I just never really processed that was going to happen. So I probably would have saved a little more if I was aware of that. And of course, my bills are steep, so that never slows down. So I gotta have a relentless income or else I am in trouble. So So yeah, so I kind of back to square one with that. But the good news is now I have these installs coming in, and now I'm getting ones installed that I signed up in August and September, so I'll be getting the 100% commission for, and I don't have to worry about reclaims anymore because there's nothing to reclaim. So, now I'll be getting the big paychecks. Like this week, I have 2 installs. I had one on Tuesday or one yesterday, and I have one on Friday, and those will be. The one was a self-gen, and it was a 10 kilowatt system, so that's 300 kilowatts, that's 3,000. And then the other one's an outreach lead, it's 9.2 kilowatts, so that's 200 kilowatts, that's 1840. So $4,800 is my gross amount, so I should net like 32 to 3,500 out of that. So that's a good paycheck, for 1 week. So, and then I have 7 more in the queue to be installed within the next 3 weeks. So that'll be huge, and they'll be similar paychecks. So 5, I should be getting about about $30,000 actually by the end of November. I will have made, so that will definitely turn the tides for sure. And it just will put me in a different mindset, and not, that money will change me, like as a core, like change my values or my, lifestyle or anything, but I definitely will be in a better place because I'll have more peace of mind, more security, just less to worry about, because being poor sucks, man. I can tell you, it's not fun. It's not fun, and it just adds so much extra stress and anxiety and sadness and just unnecessary negativity to life that just really doesn't need to be there. So just everything's so much harder, being poor, because you take it for granted. Everything costs money, and I live in one of the worst places to be poor, which is Orlando, Florida. So it was not really much, and so I kind of hit bottom with that, especially during the hurricane. When I stocked up, I did my hurricane prep at Dollar Tree, so that'll tell you where I was at, literally and financially. And so I stocked up on canned food and dried food that they had there. And there's nothing healthy at Dollar Tree. They don't have like salad, like produce and all that. It's just garbage, just junk food. And so that's what I was eating during the hurricane. And so it just kind of sent, because I had made an effort, when I was able to eat healthier, because I feel better when I eat healthier. You are what you eat, so it's just like you gotta take care of your body. So when I eat just garbage the whole day, I just don't feel good. I don't feel right. And so it was like 3-4 days in a row that I didn't make it to the store, and I'd spent the last of my money at Dollar Tree. So I couldn't even after the storm was over, I couldn't go to Walmart or Publix or Whole Foods. I've been there like once in my life. Usually Walmart's where I get my groceries, but I couldn't even make it there because I didn't have the money. So I was literally I wasn't eating any proper meals. Everything I was eating was just junk food snacks. I was eating ramen and chips and Cheez-Its and pretzel sticks and Pop-Tarts and all that stuff. That's literally what I was eating, and there's no nutritional value to any of that, and it's just way too much carbs and salts, and it's just not good. So that combined with what I'm eating, and then combined with being poor, which kind of goes hand in hand, because if I had money I would have been able to eat better, and then also not having any appointments, and so it's very hard to take the initiative to just go out there when nobody's making me, nothing's holding me accountable. I'm not going to get written up if I stay home, but I'm not going to accomplish anything then. So, and then of course gas was an issue because that's not cheap either. I was going through like a tank of gas a day pretty much, which is 10 gallons. It's about $30. So it's not easy to make that appear. So, that's another reason to stay home, to save gas, but it's definitely a dilemma. So I borrowed quite a bit of money over that time, and I have some debt. Definitely have some debt. So that'll be my first priority, to pay that off with the money I'm about to get, and then start saving for moving. So I really can't underestimate that. I gotta really budget a lot for that because I don't know exactly how much it's gonna be. So I'll just save as much as I can. But I gotta pay the rent every month until then, which is $2,000. So that's a decent chunk of change. Yeah. So what else? So as far as mental health goes, I got back into songwriting. So, because that was kind of on hiatus for a while, but I'm writing again. The most recent song I'm working on is a song that I'm tentatively titled "Coming Home." It's about my relationship with God, you could say, the universe, the cosmos, whatever you want to call it. I feel at this point I'm comfortable calling it God. Even though there's a lot of stigma with that. I don't conform to worldly religion at all. And I think there's a lot of corruption and manipulation in that. But in a spiritual sense, I absolutely believe in a higher power and in that kind of energy that I believe is in all of us, and that we're all connected, and that there is a greater purpose than just what things seem. So that's all I'll say about that. But that's, based, really what triggered it was a specific experience I had while I was driving home. That's why it's called Coming Home. During one of the lower points in that period. Just kind of a conversation I had, I suppose you could say, with what I interpret to be God. So that's that song. And then a few others. I was looking at some of the older songs that I had written in my youth and naivety. And look at me in my youth. I'm 21. Come on. I'll probably look back on the stuff I'm writing now in a few years and roll my eyes. But so I was kind of refining some of that, because I think a lot of the stuff I've written over the years is very good, and I would just make like some minor changes here or there, which to me make a big difference. But they're good songs. So I'm proud of what I've written as a whole. A few songs haven't really aged that well, or don't really resonate with me as much as they used to, but it's still a part of me, and it's still a timestamp, and it's still important. So it's necessary to get to where I am now. So I'm not ashamed of it. But who knows, honestly, where this journey is going to take me next. I have no idea. But I'm here for it. I'm along for the ride. So I'm here to stay. I have reason to believe. So I'm definitely not making a conscious effort to leave. Um, you know, so I'm I'm just seeing what happens, and I do what I feel is the right thing to do, and I don't always make the right decision in the moment, but I'll reflect, and I feel like I do learn from my mistakes overall. So it's not for nothing. And I feel like I've grown quite a bit, and I'm constantly growing. Every day I'm growing and becoming a better person, and kind of peeling away the layers to get to who I truly am at the core, and getting to know myself better, and the people around me, and the world, and what's really going on, and all that stuff. I'm just learning more. I get more knowledge, and knowledge is power. So the more I know, the more powerful I am. And the more power I have, then the more ability I have, the more things I'm able to do with it. And then it starts another cycle, because then I have to learn how to use that power. And then the more I learn about that, the more power I have, So it's just this reinforcing cycle. But I think it's beautiful, and I think that life is beautiful, and the world is beautiful, and I try not to take it for granted, any of it. So I'm happy to be alive, and I'm happy to be a part of this, and to have the knowledge that I do have, and the power that I do have, and most of all, the potential that I have. And I feel like I just get the sense that I'm going to accomplish a lot in my lifetime, and be a significant person in the world. So I don't really have many details beyond that. I don't really know, but that's just kind of the overall message I've been getting in various forms, that's just been reinforced so much that I feel it can't be a coincidence. So whatever I'm supposed to do, I'm here for it. I just gotta, just figure it out, but I'm open to it 100%. Whatever I feel compelled to do. Yeah. So I've learned not to question or overrule things that come from above me, So. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. I'm seeing here I only have 2 minutes left of storage until this is full, so I'm gonna have to archive this and then delete it so that I can do another one. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say for tonight anyway, so it's a good stopping point. But yeah, so we just had a lot more to catch up on because it's been so long. But whenever the next one of these is, there's no cool front scheduled for the next 2 weeks, so probably 2 or 3 weeks if I had to guess. But whenever the next cold front is, I'll do another one of these, and there'll, be a lot less time to catch up on. So depending on how eventful it is, it'll be less of a recap and more of just a stream of consciousness, So which is kind of the intention of this. But just for the inaugural season premiere, I feel it's appropriate to catch up on the last 6 months. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. I appreciate your viewership, especially if you, listen to the whole thing all the way through. That's dedication, and that's a significant part of your day. So that means a lot to me. But, whatever you get out of this, if it helps you in any way, or inspires you, or entertains you, or whatever, then I feel I did accomplish something good, had a positive influence, which also makes me happy. So But anyway, I feel like it can't hurt putting this out there. That only positive things can come of it, or it'll be an overall positive effect. So, yeah, feel free to leave any comments that you feel compelled to, and yeah, look for the next one soon. So, take care, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Good night.